All right, welcome back to episode four.
I think.
Eating Asian snacks with our Asian dad.
That's me.
For everyone that...
I'm the token Asian here.
Well, to get a zoom in on his face, make sure you squint your eyes a little bit more.
Oh, nice. I'm half. I don't have to get squint that much.
So, yeah, our dad is Korean. We are Korean by proxy. And
You're a quarter.
Yeah, quarter Korean. So we're going to eat all these are going to be Asian snacks. We're also going to do another episode where we eat all Asian snacks. So we got a lot to go through. We should probably address an interesting comment that we received. So we got a comment that someone said, we were trying to find your podcast on Spotify, and we couldn't find it, but we did find another podcast that is also called the Snack Kings Podcast.
You guys are Snack Kings?
Yeah, that's our podcast is.
Well, we were.
The Snack Kings. And I was like, that's impossible because I checked and there was no other Snack Kings podcast. And so I looked it up. There is another Snack Kings podcast. And they'd been making episodes since 2021. And I went through our old messages and I was like, I have a message from you that we're talking about the podcast back in 2020.
Right.
And at the time, I remember you sent me the name Snack Kings, and I was like, "That's perfect. I love that." I looked it up. There was no Snack Kings at the time. Okay, so as I was saying, so there was no Snack Kings podcast in 2020. So I did my research. I was like, "Great name, no Snack Kings podcast. That'll be the podcast name." We talked about it for a while, and we didn't actually start doing the podcast until this year. So like a year and a half later.
Right.
And in that time, someone else came up with the name Snack Kings and started a podcast in 2021. And I didn't think to check again that there was nobody by that name. I was like, thought didn't even cross my mind. It's like, it's been like a year. But in the amount of time that we came up with the podcast name, we kind of dinked around. We were like, should we? Does the world really need another podcast? And then we finally got around to making it. Lo and behold, someone has taken that moniker. And so now we're probably going to have to come up with another name.
How about Kings of Snacks or the Snack Emperors?
I was thinking, what if we just change the S to a Z? But then, I don't know. I think
that'll be confusing for people.
It's unfortunate because we really like the name. I mean, we came with the name.
Clearly, what happened?
We have evidence of us having the name.
I was gonna say,
in 2020. We just didn't make a podcast, which is the important part.
What happened is that Facebook/Meta sold our data.
Obviously,
and they're not Snack Kings.
Our
At this point, they're
messages were
Snack
leaked.
Tyrants.
They mind you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come up with a new. That's not gonna be right now, but thank you to the person that pointed that out to us. Thankfully, we're only like less than 5 episodes in, so it's not that big of a deal. It's disappointing because we thought, I guess great minds think alike. We were happy with the name, but we'll come up with another name.
How about instead of the Game of Thrones, a Game of Snacks?
And then we'll just eat Game
Lords,
of Thrones.
Lords of the Snacks. Like, Michael Flatley was Lord of the Dance in Riverdance. You're going to be Lords of the Snacks.
I'm not familiar with Michael Flatley, so I'm sure some of our audience members will
gonna say,
appreciate
I know.
that reference. But yeah, so there's that to point out. But today, we're just going to be eating Asian snacks with our Korean dad. And we are also Korean. Everyone in this shot is Korean.
At least partially, yeah.
So,
Well, Godzilla is not.
We're all bona fide.
and we should also point out that Koreans love Hawaiian shirts.
That's all we wear.
It's funny because Gabe came over. Not this Gabe. My dad's name's also Gabe. We should introduce ourselves.
I was just
Good
about
idea.
to
As
say.
the host of the podcast, my name is Evan. This is my dad Gabe and my brother Gabe.
Not confusing at all.
No. So I actually, even though I'm actually the third Gabe because of my dad and his grandpa or his dad, my dad named me Gabe Jr. incorrectly, but we named Gabe the fourth correctly.
Yeah. And
Like I said, it's not confusing at all.
Nope, not a bit.
Gabe came over in little Gabe came over in a Hawaiian shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt." And he's like, "I figured Dad's gonna be wearing one," and I was like, "You're right. He probably will be." So I switched into one, and lo and behold, we're all wearing Hawaiian
As far
shirts,
as
so.
as far as we know, because we haven't done the research, I think that you probably have the second biggest collection after John Lasseter, the CEO of Pixar.
And the CEO of Hawaiian shirts.
Exactly. Yeah. He got elected that. That's an honorary title.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna scoot to
It's
this
not
just
quite
a tiny
true,
bit,
but
just so we make sure the head isn't. I kind of contemplated maybe it should be me on the end, Gabe in the middle, and then you on the other end, just so we could be like, the picture of the monkey that slowly starts walking as a man. It could be kind of like that, but just like with
in
receding
terms of age.
hairlines, or in terms of age.
I like the hairlines one actually better.
So let's get into
Yeah, me too.
a lot of the snacks that we have to try today in the next episode are Lay's. So I figured maybe we can knock out some of the non-Lay's chips. Starting
Generic
out. So this
knockoff.
is a looks like reused art asset from like the bass fishing PS2 game. So there's a giant picture
It really
of
does. You're right.
a bass on here. This is sweet chili fish crackers. Now I've had these for a while. I've been holding on to them. Well, good thing they're sealed up tight.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nothing better
So
than
they're
stale
definitely
fish
not-
crackers.
I don't really want to. Speaking of stale fish crackers, I don't want to be exploded with fish confetti.
just
If one of you
thinking-
guys wants to,
We'll pass it
I
down.
have trouble with these too. I either
Yeah.
can't open it or they blow up all over me. Especially with the Asian packaging. Damn, they gotta use this as like stuff for the space shuttle. Remember?
There you go.
there you go.
We have encountered, I think, a couple of harder to open chip
Recalcitrant
bags.
bags. These are the Asian ones
Military
are-
grade
Exactly.
aluminum.
Yeah.
But they hopefully won't be stale then. Yeah, we always like to get a.
They smell
get
like
a
the shrimp chips. They
do.
smell pretty
They
good.
smell
Yeah,
pretty
they smell really good.
All right.
Shout out
Okay, so
the
So
shrimp chips. Those
we
are
got-
a great
Yeah.
snack.
We got these from just my local Asian market. I don't know if they are. Philippines? Perhaps Philippines. There's a couple different countries listed on here. There's also Venezuela, but
no, it's Venezuela City, Philippines.
yeah. How
Yeah,
could I?
it's from the
How
Philippines.
silly. All right, so yeah, let's dig into these
Philippines,
bad
well known
boys.
for their shrimp chips and their hookers.
I'd love to go to. I'd love to go to Venezuela. The
Oh,
Philippines.
Venezuela. They taste very similar to the shrimp chips, except they got a little bit of sweetness to them.
Yeah,
And
a
there's
little
a
bit of sweetness.
Tiny bit of heat.
You know what I think? Kind of bland.
A little bit.
I think that maybe their fatal flaw is that the chip itself is too thick, and whatever the dough or whatever you want to call it isn't flavorful enough.
Probably wheat. It's a wheat cracker or wheat chip.
It is
Yeah.
wheat flour.
Huh?
Wheat flour. 'Cause
Wow.
Who called it?
Whoa!
We Asians we're well known for our palates.
That's interesting that you mentioned palettes, because I guess this will be a new tradition. You actually have the honor of being the first guest on the podcast. But we have here some Super Taster test strips.
Okay.
So we're gonna put you through the ringer. I'm gonna give you 2 papers. If you want to cleanse your palate, we have this lovely, not sponsored.
Nope, no sponsoring on this.
These
Totally.
these do have a really nice texture, I'll say.
They do.
You know?
They do. It's almost like bugles.
The sweet chili flavor that's there, I think, is good. It just needs more.
It needs a better chip. I
We've
think.
run into, I think, a better chip.
It's
you
a
think,
good
too?
seasoning blend, but the chip, I think,
Maybe like
itself-
something thinner, like an
Yeah.
actual traditional potato
Yeah.
chip, as
Yep.
opposed to
Yeah,
like the.
because Evan was saying that then the spice or the flavoring would come through better. You don't want to. You don't like to have snacks that the substance that overwhelms the flavoring they put on it.
They're not. I wouldn't say they're
Okay, drink
incredible.
from your.
Yeah,
They're-
go ahead. For
they're-
my small cup of water.
So my youngest son here has a jug of moonshine. You know, every I don't know where he got it. I don't want to know. I'm a mandatory reporter.
It's the. It's
Helps.
It's the best palate cleanser. You know, just moonshine.
Woohoo! Wow. Yep, my palate is cleansed. Not gonna taste anything for the rest of the show now.
All right, so close your eyes.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand you 2 pieces of paper. I just want you to tell me what you taste as soon as you taste it, and just describe in detail.
I taste paper.
Okay. Anything else? You don't have to eat it. I saw some chewing happening.
I'm trying to get flavor out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that moonshine killed my palate.
Okay.
I
all
can't
right.
taste anything.
That's one. You can just throw that anywhere on the floor. And
Raised in a barn?
next one. Are you guys still closed?
They're closed.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were handing me this. I was like, Gabe, take the spitty paper.
No, I got it.
Or-
I got it here.
All right,
It's
here's
fine.
number 2.
Okay.
So just tell me what you taste as soon as you taste it.
It's something that's pretty strong.
Okay.
It's pretty bitter.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, wow, yeah, it's really,
Wow.
really bitter.
Okay, you can spit it out. You can spit it out.
Blech.
So the first was the control, and the second one was the Super Taster test strip. And judging by the speed at which you taste it and the reaction
The
to how it
intensity.
tasted, I'd say it's pretty clear that you're a Super Taster.
Woohoo!
So that makes 2 out of 3 on the panel
Oh,
today.
yeah. Who's not?
So how excited?
I don't know.
Oh, didn't mean to, broach a sore subject.
All right,
there,
now
Gabe.
that that's out of the way and Gabe's self-esteem is dashed
Blah,
yet again.
my. It's like I sucked on a dandelion stem. Blah.
Yeah, you might want to, down some of that. Yeah, I don't want to affect your. Yeah, let's get a couple. Actually, let's not go to these yet because these I think are going to be great. Let's jump into. Do we have anything that's over there that's not like? Whoa, what's the open one? Yeah, go to that one. Go to that one.
yeah.
The,
Slight breach.
oh, these are Lay's too, but
Yeah. These
So-
are the ones that I'm quite scared of because, as I told the boys, anytime you have like chicken wings shown that you have to use titanium, military grade,
Yeah.
10 layers of asbestos chopsticks, I'm kind of worried about.
They definitely it's insinuating that like in order to serve it, it's
You
like
gotta-
as
yeah.
far away as possible.
a lot of Lay's, a lot of interesting. That's what I'm saying. I think Lay's is like, especially overseas, like very, very experimental, and I really admire.
I think they do
Oh, yeah, why don't
definitely
you-
smell
yeah.
like chicken, which it doesn't.
Woo!
I
Yeah, it
didn't
does.
see a name, but I assume that it's something like Korean fried chicken or spicy fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells very chickeny.
Yeah.
You don't get that kind of immediate drawback from the spicy, though.
Yeah, it doesn't smell incredibly
Here,
spicy.
you try first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't mind if I do.
He's the asbestos mouth here.
So did you say it's like Korean fried chicken, something like?
That's what it looks
That's what
like.
it looks like. It's, what do they call it? Happy chicken?
Yeah.
It's what they make in Hawaii based on Korean stuff. Breaded.
It's a little bit sweeter than I thought.
I
it
was
would
gonna
be.
say maybe it isn't. Maybe it's like. Maybe it's going for like one of the like a honey sesame or something like that. Not that
I
it tastes
like
like honey
it.
sesame, but something like that.
It's not bad, actually, no.
And there's a little
It's greasy.
hole in the front where a little mouse nibbled in, but they're not stale.
Hey, those mice know this quality snack from
Yeah.
seeing anything from Asia, and they're like, oh, yeah, heck yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm taking big hands.
Okay, there is a slight spice at the very end. I think.
Very, very faint.
Yeah.
Get the
I
milk.
think it's...
Get the milk. My dad brought some milk for the
Half and
spice. Yeah.
And some strawberry ice cream. Oh, man, I'm all in. I'm not going on this crappy 1% milk with colored water.
That's gonna. I just have a jar of heavy whipping cream, and that's gonna be nice and thick as it slides down.
I think the only reason that you get spice is because they're so oily. So
Hmm.
the oil sticks on your tongue and on my lips.
I really like those.
They're really, really
Yeah,
good.
They are. You can definitely tell that they're like a chicken product, and you can. But
Yeah.
there's a subtlety to them, but it's very pleasant. There is a sweetness. There's a slight spiciness. I mean, it's an easy you crack open one of these, you can eat the whole bag pretty easy. I think they're very
Yeah, I think
accessible.
so. There's
Also-
nothing...
The etiquette on
Off-putting
the
about
show.
them?
Don't be afraid to lick your fingers. We've been doing it the entire time. The audience loves it. They love to listen to it. It helps them fall asleep.
They're practically
Gabe
baked.
always says, "Don't be." He says when it comes to the Snack Kings podcast, soon to be renamed, "Don't be afraid to lick, suck, and slurp." I said maybe that's not a good catchphrase.
I'm always saying it.
He was pretty steadfast on that
That's
one.
true, he does. Even though it's inappropriate times. Of course, it's never really appropriate to say that. I don't think.
Funerals, children's birthday parties.
If you're driving around in your van, you see a little kid walking around. These are from Taiwan.
Stuff like that.
These are from Taiwan. I
Taiwan.
salute the people of Taiwan. I love you guys. You are
taking a stance.
You
on
are-
the
that's right.
independence of Taiwan.
you are not part of the Republic of China. Don't let them convince you of that, dudes.
Okay,
Stand up for yourself.
This video will be
Represent.
banned in China.
Even Nancy Pelosi went over and said you guys are great.
Okay, so the next snack. Now this is interesting because Gabe kind of betrayed me on this one. I think that it might be kind of like a
snack
Cain and
betrayal?
Abel situation. Gabe being Cain and
I feel like I'm being pushed out.
being cursed with the
You are kind of like slowly sliding
Yeah,
out of the
like-
camera.
being cursed with a mediocre palate. But
Is he
we
gonna bring that up the rest of your life?
I've been holding on to these for months, and I was like, we're gonna do an all Asian episode. I'm gonna hold on to these. And it's funny, we went to the Asian market not too long ago, and Gabe picked up a bag of these, and I was like, oh, I have a bag of these at home that I'm saving for the podcast. And he's like, I'm just gonna bite and munch into these right now. So Gabe is not gonna be partaking into these ones. I abstained because I care about our viewership.
Gotta keep the art pure.
I had
wanted
already-
my
I had
reaction
already-
to be.
I had already purchased them, by the way. Just so
And
that
I already purchased these
No.
months and months ago.
when you had, I didn't know that you had gotten them, and I had
And I told,
already,
and then
I had already-
You don't have some of the information that you don't know, and then I tell you it, and then you know it.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
and were they open yet? At that
they
point?
were already purchased. I'm
Were
not
they,
gonna-
were they
I'm not
open?
gonna not
Were they
eat
open?
them.
Were they open? I didn't say you couldn't eat them. I said you could wait. This is a week ago.
You did not.
This is a week ago, and now we're eating them.
You did not stop me before I purchased them, because if you said I already have these,
I
then
didn't
I
see-
wouldn't have purchased them.
I guess I should. His cart was stacked full, by the way. I guess I should have went through every single item to
your
make
cart?
sure. Anyway, so me and Dad.
like
were-
four
hand,
items.
hand basket.
If you want to
Yeah.
get some, so these are. This is a seaweed. It says high tempura. It's like a barbecue. It's I think
Smoked
it says down
barbecue.
here. Yeah, smoked barbecue flavor.
yeah.
Like fried seaweed snack. So.
Being Asian, of course, I love seaweed. It's kind of an odd-shaped chip, though, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh no.
Dad,
Kind of an odd flavor.
you're gonna dry out.
Yeah, what brand is this? Do not eat. Warning, do not eat. Wow, that's pretty metal. That was a wet packet. I should not have touched that.
Sorry, I have my germs all over it.
This
COVID.
is fun. I really like the.
Wow, it's really
Texture.
good. It's got
It's
the
really good.
the flavor
Wow.
of the nori,
If
you know,
only we could have got Gabe's reaction.
Seaweed.
Yeah, I gotta say,
but it's
I
not
really like
overly,
this.
it's not overly like
I'm a
fishy.
big fan, like you said, of nori, of just like the little miniatures of seaweed.
Now that you guys have tried them, I will say that it's probably one of the best snacks I've ever had.
Wow, wouldn't that have been great? If
In
we
terms-
got his original react. He was popping off in the car. He was like, "Whoa, whoa,
They were-
whoa!" And I was like, "Wow, I
They-
wish that we were filming,
They are
and
incredible.
you could have waited 5 days."
They are incredible.
Yeah, I like him quite a bit.
They remind me of the roasted little sheets, snack sheets of the seaweed you can get, the nori.
Yeah, the toasted
With a little
seaweed.
bit of sesame oil on them,
Yep.
and sesame seed, and yeah, maybe
That's
soy
pretty
sauce.
good.
They're like these. These are like the little sheets with them, with some
Very
body and crunch
crunchy.
to them.
Great,
Yeah.
great texture.
Yeah, help yourself, dude. Go ahead.
Great,
Wow.
great flavor.
Yeah, I may
They
have to.
smell super smoky. They smell like
They
Yeah.
taste smoky. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of those.
it's like they took sheets of seaweed and roasted them over a little hibachi,
yeah,
and then like put them on a chip.
and it was a pretty good price from what I remember too. So yeah, highly
Really?
recommend those. Yeah, I mean,
All the
obviously
bags-
they'd be cheaper if because if you got them in their home country, but yeah, what are the costs?
All the bags of each of these I got here, they're all $5. So I spent about $150 on these bags.
He's a producer,
sponsored. Yeah.
officially.
Well, Asians know how to make a profit, especially.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, so
everybody
you got-
talks about Japanese, being the yellow Yankee, but Koreans, we're right up there.
Never heard that term
every,
before?
Every single Japanese restaurant, whether
Yeah.
it be teriyaki or sushi in the whole Olympia, Tumwater, Lacey area, they're owned by
Uh-huh.
Koreans. I know because even though I don't speak Korean, I recognize that.
Yeah.
And so we walk into a place, and my wife, of course, total gaijin. I love her though. I love her deeply. She'll and I'll say, oh yeah, they're Korean. No, they're not. It's a Japanese restaurant. Yeah, they're speaking Korean. How do you know you don't speak it? And I said, yeah, well, I don't fluently speak Spanish either, but I recognize it when I hear it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so this
And-
guy, he's an older guy. He's like totally all about the yen. I mean the dollar. So
And so it's a gas station, Korean owned, and so they stock with a bunch
It's
of
a
like,
Chevron.
imported- Wow, interesting.
it's
Yeah,
real close to my new job,
yeah.
and
What's the address of that? No, it's-
Correction Center.
Well, we'll bleep that out. Yeah, you and Gabe have a lot better odds. You guys have a lot better findings at gas stations.
I was going to
Well,
say,
the-
we've talked about before, the gas stations have really
Here,
good
I'll give you an example of how profit-oriented Asians and Koreans in particular are. So,
Coming from an Asian.
exactly. I can say that. My mother was extremely tight with a penny, and all of her friends who own businesses, totally great businesswomen, especially the females in Korea.
Yeah.
Guys are kind of lazy. We don't like to do that sort of stuff. We let our women do it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I stop in on my way to work. I don't have a lot of time, so I grab the essential stuff, things I really need. Got 2 energy drinks. I got a breakfast sandwich.
Yep.
And God, what was the other thing? 1 bag of chips, right? And so it was $17.01,
Ooh.
which is highway robbery, but
Yeah.
you know. So I pay for it, and then there's these things on the table or the counter, and I'm just waiting because it's like there's a lot of stuff, and kind of it's not really that easy to be carrying them. So I look at my stuff, and I look up at him, and he looks at me, and I look down at my stuff, look back up at him, and he's looking at me. So I'm thinking, we're not really communicating here. So I said, "Can I get a small bag?" And he goes, "Yeah, 10 cents." I'm like, I don't have any change, and I figured, just let it slide.
He
And
give
he
you
goes,
the Korean hookup.
No. In fact, he said, "You pay next time." And I was
American
like,
pig.
I was like, okay. And then I thought, how is he going to remember this? And then I thought, you know what? I bet he's got like this. He takes like stills from his security video footage.
Yeah, he put
and
a
he's like,
picture of your
puts them
face.
on his back, on the back walls in there in his there's in the back room where it's like, it's probably size oriented. So the more you owe, like
Yeah.
mine's probably like about this big, 10 cents. There's probably ones like smaller, with 2 cents, 5 cents.
There's a bunch of strings connecting all the
he's-
pictures.
Yeah, and there's maybe like a bigger one for someone who was 50 cents. And I imagine like one whole wall probably back there was taken up with a picture of a guy who was like $6.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how profit oriented Orientals are.
That's not.
See what I did there?
I'd love to go there. I'd love to check this place out. So,
Yeah, you should. It's a long drive, but
So this next one is not Lay's. It is. It looks like some sort of ramen flavor. So it's
cup of noodle. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a cup of noodle chip.
Does it say on that label, that back label?
they call them pocket
this
noodles
is
in England.
nothing. It just says
Pocket
spicy potato
You
chips.
put them in your coat pocket.
That's all it says.
Oh.
Is spicy potato chips. But there's a
That's kinda
picture of
scary.
like an original flavor cup noodle, and it smells pretty good. Let me grab a couple. Let you guys get some snips.
It's a
in.
ridged chip, looks like.
It is. Ruffles is quaking.
You know what it smells like? Dried fish after it's been sitting out in the sun for about 5 days. I know because my mom would,
Oh yeah.
dry fish. It's not encouraging me.
That's the good stuff. I will say, I'm not getting a whole lot of fish. I'll wait till Gabe tries them.
It does smell like a seafood flavored ramen to me. Like it has that kind of
Like a fishy ramen.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not
the other
getting
one that
fish?
we have is, well, no spoilers, but I think the other one that is like a shrimpy flavor.
So the noodle
It's a
that
little
is
spicy,
on the
kinda.
container says
Yeah.
it's spicy seafood flavor.
Spicy seafood. Okay. Because the back just said spicy potato chips. So this is spicy seafood chips.
Yeah. I don't really like it.
Yeah, it's mostly just spicy, I think, is the main flavor.
Well, I get
And
a
then
lot of fish.
the
I get a lot of fish.
potato. That's interesting, because I don't...
I'm not really all that fond of cooked fish, so.
I think that the chip itself is pretty decent quality. Mm-hmm. The flavor is kind of because it does taste like an artificial noodle bowl. So that's like they're good.
You're right, it does. Yeah, you get that on the back of my tongue. I can taste that powdery kind of consistency from the.
Wait,
I like
look
them, but
at
I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to chips. I feel like I have a pretty
Open mind.
yeah, but you do get. I feel like you get like a fried potato flavor first, and then it becomes
a lot
like
of potato. I'm getting a lot of potato.
like a seafood, which is
It's-
hard to discern any like it's just like seafood flavor. Like it's not like it's like
Yeah.
oh it tastes like shrimp. It tastes like crab or something.
it's not
It
bad.
just kind of tastes like the ocean.
Yeah, I'm just not super...
Dried out
yeah,
in the
kinda
sun.
Salty. Yeah.
The sun, yeah.
It smells like one of those big, like, tentacle things you can use for a whip, like those bulbs.
The dried
at the end,
squids?
and they like.
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember- I don't
Yeah,
know,
you're
it's like a
talking
form
about
of
the...
kelp. Maybe
Yeah,
it's like
it's
bulbous
kelp.
on one end, and then it
Those
goes
are the floats.
thinner, and you can use
Yeah.
like a whip.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
You find it
The
washed
little-
up.
little
You don't know what that is?
pods.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
pods are the ones that, keep it up near the surface or get sunlight.
Little baby Gabe used to love finding those. He tried to see how much of it he could swallow, and his stomach would just be filling up, be curling. He was
That's
like
actually-
a sword swallower in training, but
That's
with
why I can't taste anything because I
Moldy
ate too much.
If you ate too many of
ate
those
too much
kelp
whip,
bulbs.
whip kelp apparently.
Yeah. Grandma Hall and I used to have. Well, Grandma Hall made me go out with her and collect that off the beach, and then we
Really?
dry it.
Oh,
we
wow.
tried everything.
I bet that would have a very
Preserves it, you know.
intense smell.
Yeah, when you even if you like rinse it off first and you put it on there,
Yeah.
salt crystals just appear all over the thing. It's
Oh yeah.
like somebody sprinkled crack cocaine or something all over it. Except it's halty and it doesn't make you high. So
Interesting.
None of the benefits.
I know all the drawbacks, but
We have a Lay's here. This is grilled squid. Sticking with a lot of seafood theme in this episode, a lot of fishiness.
well that's because Asians love seafood, especially
Yeah.
like Koreans. I mean, we're
I was
literally
gonna say,
surrounded
yeah.
three
Right.
sides by
They
the
have
ocean.
so much access to.
And then Japanese, they're completely surrounded by ocean. So
That's what's nice about going to Hawaii. There's like just so much like you get like to go to places like the catch of the day or whatever. You get some like really cool, interesting fish to try, and like usually it's for a better.
that they literally spearfish that morning.
Yeah.
You know what's
I like fish.
What's interesting about that chip?
I like raw fish.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
What's
that
interesting about the
that
grilled
chip,
squid,
the
Lay's?
well, no, if you're looking at the texture of the chip on the bag, it reminds me of the Ruffles. You know how Ruffles came out with? I don't know if they still have them, but they had like an extra crunchy version of their chip. They had had like a
the
buffalo
desperate
chicken.
death rattle of a dying company.
No, dude, these
Yeah.
buffalo chicken wing chips, they tasted like buffalo chicken wings. They were really good, but like it looked like. It kind of looks like that. So this, like, judging off of the picture, it looks like this is going to be an extra crunchy chip.
Interesting scent. Interesting scent. All these fish chips have really interesting.
That's what they
Smells.
look like. So do you see how they're like
Yeah.
a lot thicker?
It's kind of like
It is thick, yeah.
crinkle cut fry. I always do that. No, there's 0% chance anyone can ever see.
No,
what,
yeah.
what I'm holding down.
That's more like if the camera's like right in front of you, you can do one of those.
What I find interesting is a lot of these do smell very similar, but
Yeah.
their tastes are quite different, even though they have the same kind
Especially
of
these
scent.
ones. You don't want to get down on these, Gabe.
Oh, they definitely smell like squid, which I love squid.
Gabe, his mouth is like a safe haven
Get
for
him.
illegal immigrant chips and illegal seafood. He'll put anything in his mouth, welcome it in, and keep it safe.
That's
Good
right,
roast.
baby.
Good roast. Good roast.
You know what's interesting? I like these, but they do not taste like squid.
They don't. I think,
They're
that's,
intense, aren't they? They're very intense.
They're kind of sweet.
I think that's why I like them, because they don't taste really a lot like squid.
I get like a grilled squid.
Yeah.
I get like a grilled character to it, but I wouldn't be able if I didn't read it first
You wouldn't be
and
able to
taste
know
it.
there's
I
squid.
wouldn't say that
Yeah.
it tastes like squid. I would almost just say it tastes like fish. You know?
Yeah, I think I kind of like the initial taste, but I feel like there's kind of a weird aftertaste.
There is.
That's like
I think that this is
you're not gonna pick up on it, but me and Dad are picking up on it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now. The weird aftertaste.
Yeah. This is my last episode, guys. Just so you know, this is my retirement episode.
I'm just gonna replace you with Dad.
Yeah, this is gonna be Dad and
We're
Ev.
going to replace them with somebody who can taste the bitter.
Yeah, somebody that an actual super taster. I'm holding them back.
I like how intense the flavor is. It's impressive because you look at the chip; it doesn't look that dusted. A lot of
It
the
really
flavor.
doesn't.
Is there like a tanginess to it?
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a sweetness.
I
I
almost.
think this is a
Just a
specific dish that it's based on that I don't.
Well,
I'm
the
not
grilled,
familiar
you
with.
probably
Probably.
grilled with like a barbecue.
Yeah,
kinda-
like I think this is supposed to invoke something that is like maybe regional that I don't happen like a particular way of that they
Yeah,
prepare
it
grilled
could be.
squid.
Very
It
well.
looks like a Lay's China, like a Chinese Lay's.
It is really good though. I do like
All I
it.
can read on this is Lay's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Well-
texture is really nice too. That thicker texture.
I don't know.
I like the thicker texture.
I feel like the aftertaste kind of ruins it for me. It's not bad, but it's
It says 3 p.m. on the back.
yeah. That's
Crap, we're early. It's not yet 3 yet. It's like
Okay.
what, 130?
Okay, so see this label right here?
Yeah.
So there's a label on the back that shows what the English name of this is. And
Okay.
a lot of these
I have
snacks
not
have
been
it.
looking at those.
Either.
So this is Lay's Big Wave Potato Chips Teppanyaki Squid flavor.
Oh,
It's
teppanyaki.
teppanyaki. So that it has
That
that
explains
sweet,
that.
tangy.
I'm glad you've been reading those because
Yeah. No, I get that now. I do.
That's why because I thought spit up a little bit of chip there. That's good.
Me too. All over the place.
But I
Yep.
I
and
was
it's all over my pants.
I was thinking, why does it not taste more like squid? Because I was thinking it's a grilled squid, not that it's like I said, it's a specifically prepared teppanyaki. Of course, it's like a sweet, tangy. I think Japanese in origin.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
Anything multisyllabic is Japanese. Like the names.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
Musashi.
that. Yeah.
Interesting. Names of like swords, wakizashi, katanas. Korean and Chinese names are usually one syllable. Kim, Chin, Song, things like that.
simpler that way.
Exactly. He simplifies things.
What is?
I like these.
Is that
Teppanyaki squid.
What is that one again?
This orange one.
Yeah.
This is roasted fish.
Roasted fish.
I am not looking forward to that one.
You want to do a different one first?
No,
Should we-
no, let's go. Let's
Let's
go
get
for
it out
it.
of the way then.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want to. We want to save the best for last.
Roasted fish. Yeah, so this specifically, if you click on the back of the label,
Well, if you have glasses
It's
on, I can.
Yeah, we got the glasses guy.
crispy roast fish. Yeah, bad eyes, bad taste buds.
No, not bad taste, but it's just not up to par.
Just
Yeah,
You're not a
as
super
mediocre.
taster. Yeah, you're
Just
average.
middle of the road.
You're average, you know. It's not so
But
bad.
really cool Animal Crossing Hawaiian shirt. I will say.
Got it from my sister.
We don't
shout
care
out,
where you
shout
get
out Rain.
Mine's Disney. I
Oh,
can say,
yours is
I
too.
can say Disney, right?
It's
It's got
We're ruined.
it's got Mick, the mouse on it.
Yeah, Michael Mouse.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger,
You know,
the
the one
mouse.
from Disney that we can't say its name because if we do,
Yeah.
then a horde of lawyers will come down suing our butts.
Well, did you hear about the guy? You've seen
a weird
Cars,
smell.
right? With Owen Wilson, like the movie Cars, where they're
Mm-hmm.
all. Well, this guy owns
Cole
the
Mater.
same. Yeah, this guy owns the same car that is Lightning McQueen's car,
Oh,
and he transformed it to look like Lightning McQueen.
Well, that's pretty
and
cool.
Disney brought the ban hammer down, and they're like, "You can't. You're not allowed to make videos of that car anymore." And they like sent their lawyers after him, and he's like, "Okay, I guess I just have this Lightning McQueen car that I'll be driving around, and I can't make any videos of it."
well, if the videos are monetized, yeah. If
I
you,
was gonna
if
say.
you make 2 cents off of something, Disney, they will send a $200,000 a year lawyer to come down there
Yeah.
and spend $50,000 to make sure
They need-
you don't get that 2 cents.
They do need the
I
money.
forgot to get a chip. I smelled the
Yeah,
bag.
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I noticed that.
I'm not
It's,
getting
it's
a
a
huge-
really neutral.
not a big smell from it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a really
Oh,
neutral
I-
smell.
It looks
Really?
almost like the cheddar Lay's
It's-
in color.
It smells pretty
What
seasoned
is it
to
again?
me.
You said the
Crispy roast fish.
Fish.
Crispy roasted fish.
I think it smells really good.
Odd flavor.
I find it very pleasant.
Nothing jumps out at me. You know, when I
Yeah.
first put it in there. Not too salty, not too
It's
sweet.
pretty mild.
It is very mild chip,
This is very good.
and
I agree.
it's much better than I was afraid it was going to be.
It's easy.
I was
it's
afraid I was
easy
going to
eating.
spit it out all over your floor.
And look at that bag. That bag is beautiful. It's got like it's like a holographic
It's a work of art,
Pokemon card.
but
Very-
also like
very inviting.
it's armored like a Humvee. These bags are.
It's very tough.
No wonder these bags.
they gotta
never,
ship them overseas.
Yeah, they never disintegrate or anything. These are the ones you all see floating in that big dead spot, the garbage spot.
Yeah. It's it's like a little bit sweet,
Yeah.
salty.
It feels very composed, you know?
I feel kind of
it's
the
well
same
balanced,
way
you're right.
that you were talking about with one of the earlier fish flavors. I think the spicy seafood one, where you're like, if I didn't know this was fish, I probably wouldn't think fish.
Teppanyaki.
Yeah, but I do like it. Tastes like, you know what it tastes like? It tastes to me like just a better alternative to like a normal barbecue Lay's chip. Feels like a
Wait, I mean, we've gone over how.
Come on, the barbecue chip has a zing as soon as you put it in your mouth.
Are you a fan of barbecue chips, Dad? Mm-hmm. Maybe
I am.
don't watch our second episode.
Yeah, before this.
It's not like I'm a fanatic. It's not like I have them
Yeah.
scrolled away in my garage and waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Like, yeah, take 'em my barbecue chips.
That's always the first thing that goes is the barbecue chips. You're gonna be like Woody Harrelson with his Twinkies.
Trying to find the Twinkies.
Yeah.
I have 2 boxes of Twinkies, full boxes in my cupboard right now.
Well, I'm a little reassured by the inevitability of the apocalypse, considering how strong these bags are. I don't think we're going to have any shortage of
Nope,
new chips.
they'll never go
We'll
bad.
be raiding warehouses doing the podcast from an
We'll just go up
armored
to
car.
that Chevron station. I'm sure he's probably got
Yeah.
cases of them in the back.
Probably got guns too. He's probably going to protect his supply.
These roasted fish chips, I think, are pretty good. I think that
I like him quite a bit.
they do taste like fish. They're not
Yeah.
too fishy though, because it tastes like a fish dish. You know,
No.
silly.
Dr.
But-
Seuss over
Like,
here.
yeah, right. But like I was saying, it's very composed. You know, it does taste
Yeah,
like
it is,
a
it is
meal.
very well balanced.
Where you're getting like almost like garlicky notes, almost like
A
you
lot of
can
good
taste
flavors.
like almost
Yeah.
like the vegetables that went into it. It's a really good chip.
I'm a fan.
I'm very pleasantly surprised because I was just dreading that one almost as much as the salted egg. That'll be on a future episode.
yeah.
Let's do one of these. One of these guys.
You want to do one of the spicy ones?
Yeah. Take a
Well,
break
let's
from
do-
the Lays.
Let's do the less spicy of the two, I assume. This is hot and spicy potato chips from
Kalbi.
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 That make the
Makes
shrimp
good
chip.
stuff.
They
Yeah.
make the
Yeah.
shrimp chips, which are the
Those of you that know
best
shrimp chips,
things. Yeah.
one of the best snacks of all time.
Kalbi shrimp chips. They look like little French fries.
Yeah.
There's hold on. Can I see the bag for a second?
Yeah.
There looks like their mascot is a potato with a sash on that
It
just
says
says
potato.
There's no honorific. He's just the potato. There's not
No,
Mr.
he's just potato.
Yeah, he's just potato.
Hey, truth in advertising.
what more do you need?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
potato.
Nice and
potato.
basic. No reason to come up with
Potato-
some
He's not,
big.
he's not the mayor of anything.
Potato does not claim to be more than potato is.
That's right.
These are yeah.
Potato
these are
does not
very,
need to be anything more than it is.
These are very red and they smell
Very strong smell. As soon as
Smell
I
like
opened that smell,
peppery.
I got dust.
Yeah.
like chilies.
Kind of get that paprika smell that's
Yeah,
been sitting
yeah.
in your cupboard for like the last 20 years.
It
Not-
was bad.
Not that I would know anything about
Aged
that.
paprika.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
just-
The smoked. No, it's not, it doesn't have the smoky flavor. The smoked paprika. It's more like just straight sweet paprika.
I can't get over the fact that his sash just says potato. It'd be like if Mr. Monopoly was the Monopoly man's wearing a sash that just said guy or like
Game.
a dude.
game. Yeah.
Oh, look at the shape of this guy.
These,
Ooh, you got an.
I'll
So
say,
excited.
as a prediction before,
Yeah.
like just the smell.
Are we gonna do it all on the kind of? We all got our bites
Sure.
ready.
I feel like these are going to be more
There we
flavorful
go.
than spicy.
Go. Okay, call
This is a
behind
very-
spicy
They're
potato chips.
not spicy.
It's a very
I
familiar
agree.
flavor that I can't quite put my finger on.
Yeah. You're right.
Not super spicy.
It's got a deep flavor in the background.
Yeah.
Not what you would expect from something that is just.
You know what it kind
supposed
of
to be a
tastes like in the
spicy potato
aftertaste? Kalbi shrimp chips.
chip. Yeah.
I get
There's
definitely
a very
flavor of that.
savory, like the savory
Yeah.
note that has very umami
Yeah, I
back
wonder what
end.
they put in this.
Well, they didn't put much hot and
Definitely
spicy in there.
paprika, black pepper,
Does it-
cayenne.
Does it have any tomato base to it? Because it has kind of that.
that it has
The little zing you get from
Yeah.
potato.
There's a lot in this. I'm not seeing anything tomato related, but
No.
good try, Gabe.
Yeah, right.
I know you're impressed with Dad calling the paprika and you wanted to join in, but no no tomatoes in here.
Always riding on my coattails, this guy.
That's good.
You're probably tasting the maltodextrin.
That yeah, that's what it is. That's what it was.
Smooth.
Yeah.
No. It's pretty good. I mean, for a spicy potato chip,
It's
that's
not
all it
spicy.
claims to be. It's
But
not
the flavor's
super
good. Yeah,
spicy, but it does have a good flavor.
it really does.
It does have a really nice flavor. Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to
it was
eat a-
spicier.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to eat a lot of them for the same reason. Like you can't eat a lot of like barbecue chips because it's like I feel like the artificial flavor would start building up. Like
You
That's
know,
interesting that you
You
get
know what's
that.
funny is I almost wanted to say that this tasted like pizza Pringles for a second, and I was like, you guys are gonna roast me if I say that. There is oregano in it though,
Right, you're-
which brings on like it. Anytime
got
I
notes
taste
of that,
oregano
yeah.
in my
Yeah.
brain, it's like pizza. You know?
yeah, yeah. I think it's interesting that you made a prediction and it wasn't right, and then you made another prediction after you read the ingredients, and that one happened to be right. That's impressive.
Are you saying that he's like less than above board?
Break
He's
out
trying
the
to,
strips.
he's trying to use subterfuge on your podcast? He would never do that. He's a game.
It's a very interesting flavor profile that they're going for. You know,
It is interesting. Well, especially like I said, it's just supposed to be potato chips essentially.
Well,
just
they-
spicy.
whatever flavor profile they're going for, if they achieved it, it sure wasn't that hot and spicy.
Time for the big spice.
The Caramucho strong potato chips.
Super hot chip, chili.
Super hot. Look at that
The
guy.
guy on the
He's
package
like dying.
is
Yeah.
dying.
He is not enjoying himself.
Yeah, I like spicy foods, as you guys know, but
Yeah.
not beyond a certain level. In Thai restaurants, I'm going to go 2, maybe 3 out of 5.
So
Gabe goes 5+.
Well, I think sometimes
go hard.
I think sometimes they really try to mess with you if you go for, because I remember once we were getting Chinese food and the guy's like, "How hot do you want it from 1 to 5?" And I said 5, and he's like, "Okay," and it was so hot. And I've gotten stuff out of 5 before at different places that's like, yeah, it's nice, really spicy, but I feel like he was like, "Oh yeah, 5." Just the pepper extract.
Yeah.
The black
Eat it
stuff
up.
that's concentrated that says not for human consumption. He's
Yeah.
like, squirt, squirt,
And
squirt.
one time I was actually I was almost insulted. I remember I went to an Indian restaurant and the guy asked me the same thing. He said 1 through 5, how spicy you want it, and I said 5, and the guy said okay, and then he brings me my food and he says, "I made it a 3. Let me know if you want it spicier." And I was like, "Oh," and I ate it. And I was like, "I'm not even sweating," and I don't want to say anything because for the same reason. Because I was like, "Oh, well, then if I do this," and he'd be like, "Okay, we want spicier." He's gonna break out. He has a bucket full of just the seeds, the
Right.
capsicum seeds from peppers, and
You're
he's
like,
like,
oh,
He's got
this Gaijin was spicy.
Yeah.
How about I put a few pubic hairs in there too?
he's got a ghost. He's got like a ghost pepper that he puts in that like Parmesan grater at Olive Garden.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just like table side grinds it up. But what's funny is that similar to that story, there was a restaurant that Dad and I went to for
Full
lunchtime.
one?
Yeah, it
They
was
talked you out of eating the soup?
he didn't even talk me out of
Oh.
it. I tried to order a spicy dish. I can't
It was,
remember what it was
a
now.
spicy seafood
And
dish.
he was like,
he's like, no.
I don't think
Yeah.
you're gonna like this.
And he's
And I
like,
said,
oh.
oh no, I can handle it. And he's like, you should get something else.
"Whoa."
Yeah,
And
he
I was
basically refused to
okay.
take
Yeah,
his order.
he was not going to do it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll get something else.
Well, I know what he was thinking. He put out this dish that probably cost, like $8 worth of seafood. And
Guy's gonna
Gabe
write
would
a
take
bad
one
review.
bite.
I was just
This is terrible. I want something different. And then he'd waste all that
Well,
seafood.
That's
in
what I was
his-
gonna say about
in
your
his
case.
In his defense, there was that time where you were ordering menudo from a Mexican restaurant. Do you
That's a
remember that?
completely different
And
situation.
you got it right.
Yeah.
And you didn't. Did you like it?
So what happened was I confused menudo and pozole. So pozole is this delicious Mexican soup,
Cabbage
almost
and
stew.
hominy.
Yeah, cabbage, hominy. You got slow cooked like pork in there. It's really good, and I've had that once. And in my head, I mixed those up, and I went to order menudo, which is
the
not
guy said-
pozole.
the guy
So
said
menudo,
something, right?
menudo is made with intestine, which
what he means is poop flavored cow intestine.
Yeah.
If you don't clean them out really well, you get straight poop flavor.
And
Now-
sometimes
now-
even if you do.
Yeah, right. So now there's nothing wrong with eating intestine. That's not what I'm trying to say.
And we've had. Remember when we shot a skit where we used pig intestines in place of human intestines?
Yeah.
And man, that's a powerful smell.
Yeah.
And we just took it out of the package. We weren't even cooking it, and our entire house, the packaging read pork bung. So our entire house had a nice pork bung aroma. It was so powerful.
Very nice.
And Gabe was like, "Yummy, yummy! I think I'd like some of that in my
So-
tummy. I think I'll order that as a soup."
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Got backfired on
So
you.
like I said, I mixed it up. That's on me. And I was
Yeah.
like, can I get the menudo? And the server looks at me and he's like, are you sure you want the menudo? And I said, yeah. And he's like, do you know what it is? And I was like, yeah. And I'm in, this was in high school. I'm with like buddies at the time. And I'm like, yeah, I know what menudo is. I'm cultured. And he's like, okay. And he
said-
literally, it was like that too. Like he
Yeah.
was being cheeky. He was like, okay.
And it wasn't just like that because when he said, "Are you sure you want the menudo?" there was a maracas sound effect, like, and then
Yeah.
every head turned to look at him. They're like,
Yeah.
Down, down, down.
But so so he brings me my menudo, and it looked incredible, right? I'm not trying to downplay it.
"Could you smell it immediately?"
Immediately, I was like, "This is nothing that I've encountered before."
He was 10 steps away when Gabe was like, Oh no, they left the bathroom door open.
And so and this, like I said, I'm not trying to talk down on anybody's culture or whatever you want
Sure.
to eat.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think that because of how cocky I was, the guy was probably in the middle of cleaning, and he was like, no. He
Don't
said
clean
he
that,
knows
or
what
just
it
like
is.
take it and just go.
Yeah. He's like halfway, and he's like, okay.
We
And
show that
so
gringo.
I took one bite, and I was like, this is, if I wasn't around people,
Yeah.
I was like, there is no way I'm gonna eat this. But because I was around people, and
Well,
I
you
took
had
a-
to finish it that
there-
way because the guy's gonna be like,
Oh,
"How
see?
is it?"
yeah, I took a bite.
You
Stupid
said you
gringo.
knew what it was.
Right, my bite, and I was like, oh, this is whack, right?
Yeah.
And they brought a little bowl of onion, cilantro, and I think radish, and I literally dumped the entire thing in
you
there,
do.
and I ate every bit of it because I
Good
didn't
for
want to
you.
look like a chump.
Good for
And
you.
I
honestly,
hated it.
Honestly, good for you.
And I remember them looking at me, and I looked at them after a couple bites, and they were like, "That's not what you." And I was like, "No, this is not what I thought it was." And they were like, "Just return it." I'm like, "I'm not going to return it."
They were probably so
I'm not-
happy though.
I'm not gonna
After
return
making a
it.
big
the
deal
chef
about,
was
yeah,
like,
I know what
"What
it
did he
is."
say?" And the guy said, "He loved it, dude. He was licking the bowl."
Yeah, he comes back and he's like, "Listen, compliments of the chef.
Yeah.
Gives me the family recipe.
Platter
gives me
of
the bowl."
no, platter
But
of
And Gabe smiled, and it
intestines.
looked like he had just a bunch of snack pack on his teeth. He was like, "It's great." All right, let's get into these. These are.
I like menudo, and I know what's in it, and
Oh, really?
as long as you know what you're expecting,
I
and
think,
then
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
that's
what
what
you
it
should
was.
have done was anytime you order anything in a restaurant, especially if it's Mexican and it's absolutely atrocious, ask for fresh limes and just squeeze it into
I
there.
do love a good lime. I had a banh
Kill
mi
the taste of
once.
anything.
I had like a pork banh mi that had a little bit of a menudo wang to it, a little bit of a whiff,
that
and a little bit of a
A
aftertaste.
little bit of bunghole taste. Huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I was like, interesting way they make ground pork. I think they probably use a lot more of the animal than I would. Okay, so these are Caramucho strong potato chips, super hot chili. We're gonna be looking like this little guy here in a second. There's
Well, I wonder.
fire.
So my question is it like super hot chili, Asian hot,
Hmm.
or is it super hot chili?
There's only one way to
Guaylo
find
hot.
out.
White spicy.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying
He's-
he
Actually, no. He's
on
saying,
his fan.
"Good God, help me, kill me, please, give me a gun with bullets."
They couldn't fit that on the fan, so.
You know, I have to say, after all this fear and anxiety I had,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't sleep at all last night thinking about this.
That's what
all
we
night
want
long,
here.
all night long.
So you came with a half and half end of
That's
thing of ice
right.
cream.
This is barely spicy, barely
It's
spicy.
delicious.
It's got a
It
good
do
flavor.
taste good.
Yeah, this is not spicy. No, I am sweating like a pig. I don't know if because
I think.
It's a
You
hot
guys
day.
are,
It's a hot day.
Man, that's
I
true.
think no, it's so hot in my house. I think these spicy potato chips are better than the other spicy potato chips.
Yeah.
I think that bag right there.
you got a better texture.
You remember that
Yeah.
the one that you gave us, the first one you gave us, the
Well,
Korean
usually
ramen.
it's sweet,
You remember the
too.
Korean ramen flavored chip?
Yeah.
Tastes like that.
Yeah.
It's very like. It has a very
full
strong flavor. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this is. I buy ones at the convenience store,
Hmm.
like Stop and Rob for myself. Bring them into work, and there's nothing on there that says spicy. I'm like, ah. Now these super hot, spicy, super hot chili. It's gonna kill you if you're a white man. They're not spicy.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean I'm glad.
Spicy, a little bit of sweet.
A little
Um,
disappointed. I was kind of looking forward to my first time in a podcast, vomiting on camera.
I got a Pepper X potato chip still. If you want to eat that.
No, I'm
Still in
good,
the
thanks.
package.
I'm not into like losing my hearing and bleeding out my eyes.
Yeah.
I am.
I know you are. You've done it several times.
Gabe and I did the duel, and this will come out I think after that.
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So, which is the Smoke and Ed, the guy that makes Pepper X, and the Carolina Reaper.
What is Pepper X?
Pepper X is the hottest pepper in the world. There might be a new
Oh,
one.
yeah?
There is a new
Oh.
hot one
He-
from Smoking Ed Curry.
Smoke and Ed breeds for the hottest peppers. He
I
made the
see.
Carolina Reaper as well.
Yeah.
And his sauce is the Pepper X hot sauce. And when he partnered with Hot Ones, the Last Dab, that's their hot sauce. So Gabe and I have had the hot sauce before. Very, very, very spicy. Very
Yeah,
delicious too.
Really good. Yeah.
And they made a really hot potato chip. Him and this chip company. What is the chip company's name? Do you
It's
remember?
his chip company.
Oh, he's got his own
It's-
chip
Oh,
company?
really?
Yeah. It's
Wow. What a boss.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Hunger,
something
something-
Feast and Fury.
Feast
or,
and Fury, I think
yeah.
that's right. And so the duel is you each eat a really hot chip, and then you see who can go the longest, basically, without going for.
Oh, okay.
But
Any
Gabe
kind
and
of
I were
liquid or
so
anything?
stubborn. After like 5 minutes,
3
we're like-
days later, you're just
Yeah.
sitting there staring, sweat pouring down your face.
We had gotten to the point where I think the spice was like starting. You guys have more of these if you want. The spice was starting to go down, so I was like, "We'll just sit here until our mouths aren't hot anymore." And the game says that if neither person goes, then you have to flip the coin. There's like a little coin that the winner gets, and so we flipped it, and I called heads, and I got the coin. So I am the spice champion.
You are.
So my titles are accruing. I'm like Khaleesi in Game of Thrones. I am the spice champion, the super taster.
You
of the
used to be the
podcast.
king of snacks, but now you're like the king of spice.
How do you do a dairy?
How do I do it, Derry? Well, I mean, it depends on where the nearest bathroom is. I
Right,
think I'm willing to take some
Right,
risks
right.
sometimes.
Weak specimen.
Um,
Weak specimen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go get that chip for you.
I'm in the mood for something light.
All right. Which
Something
one
to
of these?
cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
Which one of these do you think we want to save for last? Maybe that one.
I think this one, the magic masala, India's
do this
magic
one-
masala.
Do this one next.
All right.
I think this must be made with psilocybin mushrooms on, like, coated on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
Sure. Let's do that one next. The orange one.
Spicy lobster.
I'm sweating a little bit, but I think it's you guys' body heat.
It could be.
My hands are covered with spicy, super hot chili spicy oil. My
Yeah,
fingers
well-
don't grasp anything.
When we take
That's why
off,
we'll
we'll
be
have
sucking and licking and wiping and.
we'll invest in
ahead.
some wet wipes or something.
I told Gabe what we should do is we should wear the same shirts every episode and then see how much chip accrues on the shirts as we wipe it on ourselves.
Yeah, you can't see it on Hawaiian shirts, Aloha shirts. I saw the first episode of She-Hulk. Sorry, Disney. Not trying to make money off you guys. And she and her cousin Bruce were eating Red Hot Cheetos, the really hot, spicy
The
ones.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Oh.
Flamin' Hot. And she had chopsticks. And he was like, why are you eating chopsticks?
Sorry, fingers on
Yeah,
the
no
red.
cheap.
Yeah.
I've heard
That's
of that
genius.
too.
I've heard of people doing
I-
that, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I feel like the
Smell.
real snack sluts will just tip the bag up and they'll dump them right into their
You know what's...
eager mouth.
That is exactly what I do. When
I thought you were gonna say snack sluts is good podcasting.
no,
oh,
when I
hey.
when I eat chips, I just don't do it because I'm sharing the bag here. But when I eat chips, I do not put my hand in the bag. I open up the bag and I drink the chips. I started doing that
That's
because
something that Drake would do. I was joking.
no, for real though. Like
when you're reading a book, you lick your finger before you turn
yeah,
the
yeah.
page.
But I will not lick my fingers when I eat chips. No, but I when we would play like I'd play computer games or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get my hands dirty and then have to wash my hands before I like touch my mouse or my controllers or whatever. So I just started literally like dumping the chips from the bag.
That makes sense if you're doing something else. I can see that. You don't
Yeah,
want to.
but I got into that habit, and so now I don't have to wash my hands or lick my fingers a million times.
yeah, no, you don't have to wash your hands at all. Ever.
Yeah, I stopped washing my hands.
Yeah.
I'll just say a
So
caution-
anyway, give me a chippy.
I'll just say a cautionary tale. When you get older and your hands are a little bit shaky, and you're trying to do hot and spicy Cheetos,
Yeah.
and you get powder up your nose and you Cheeto in your eye,
Oh god.
it is not fun.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You like hot Cheetos?
I do.
Well, we did a spicy episode. That's when we did the duel, and we did hot Cheetos with Carolina Reaper. Is a new
Ooh,
one they have
never heard of
out.
those.
You'd probably like them.
There's really
They're
good.
Carolina Reaper?
They're pretty spicy.
They're sweet Carolina
They're,
Reaper.
they're very
Oh,
sweet. And there's
okay,
also a
that makes all the
really-
difference.
There's a really nice natural pepper flavor.
Here,
They're-
Dad, here's some lava I sprinkled
Yeah.
sugar on top of.
Yeah, we also
Thanks.
did X extra hot. It's like X extra hot, flaming hot Cheetos.
I
And
haven't seen those either.
Those are super spicy. Those
They
are
must not
spicier
carry them in the
than
regular grocery stores.
I got mine from Fred Meyer.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and those ones are
okay.
spicier than the Carolina Reaper ones.
Wow.
What I was so bad, these, I feel like it smells like what it's supposed to be. So it's
Yep.
Lay's
Little
spicy
bit.
lobster.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not a real strong flavor though, like I would have expected.
You know what's my interesting observation though is these
You're
look
about to
like
say what I'm about to read on the back.
They
of
look
the
like
chip.
Lay's.
I don't think I am.
They
Yeah,
look- they
no,
look
I was gonna
like-
say these look like
I
Pringles.
was gonna say they look
They
exactly
look
like Pringles.
exactly like Pringles.
Yeah, and so on the back of the chip,
Exactly
didn't
like
read-
Pringles.
On the back of the chip or on the back of the bag? Gabe?
Oh,
on
no.
the, on the back of
no.
the bag, like you didn't read again.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we got
It's-
the bad guy. Read the bag.
It's
Go ahead.
potato chip Lay's stacks. Like they come in the Pringle container, but for
yeah,
some
okay.
reason
They
it's
put 'em in a
not.
bag?
Yeah, it's in a bag.
We have had Lay's stacks on the first episode, but only so I could talk bad about how sharp their container is compared
Yeah.
to Pringles. It's like hard plastic and it literally
Yeah.
is physically painful.
This-
So these are stacks just in a bag.
Just in a bag.
So,
So
they're
not
not stacked. It's just crunched them together.
These are Lay's bag.
All right.
These are the
These are Pringles
fishiest.
in a bag.
These
That
are the
is so
fishiest smelling.
So
by
far, yeah, so far you're right.
I thought they looked like Pringles.
Oh yeah,
That's fishy.
they're the fishiest tasting as
They
well.
certainly are.
I like them.
Me too.
I
They
can't.
taste almost kind of like, almost like a little bit cheesy.
I can't stand them. They're awful.
They're pretty fishy.
Ah, there.
This is the first bad chip review. We can use this as a little garbage bag.
Yeah,
Close your eyes for a second.
those are definitely a thumbs down for me.
All right, here. Put them in here.
I won't even lick my hand off. But
You know what I've noticed about a lot of the Asian snacks is they all have a slight sweetness to them.
Yeah, yeah. A
yeah,
lot
now
of
that
them.
you mentioned it, you're right. They do.
So you don't like the spicy lobster?
It's not spicy.
It's not very spicy.
It's just fishy.
Gabe and I think, are enjoying them quite a bit.
I'm glad you guys are. I sure didn't.
They could be spicier. I do really like the fish flavor. So like if you're getting them and you're like, I'm excited for lobster, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed.
You don't taste like lobster. It tastes like fish.
Kinda, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
not specifically
Yeah.
lobster. They do need to lose points though for putting a stacking chip into a bag.
I disagree because they
Yeah.
realize that their regular can is so sharp.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah, they're like, we just have to bag them.
Yeah.
People can't do it.
You know,
So I think they gain points for that. Actually, I think that's brave.
I think
and
probably
innovative.
it's like, we Americans are like, oh, it's sharp. I don't care. In Asia, they're like, no, I'm not buying these sharp containers. They're not smarter than
Do
me
you
when it comes to their
see
snack
how-
packaging.
How many are broken though? Like imagine if we bagged Pringles. They're gonna be busting in half.
They're not stacked at all. Yeah.
So that could possibly be due to my 21-pound Maine Coon cat Marley laying on a couple bags. So that's.
it adds
The
They
jury
love the
personality.
smell. My cats love the smell of any of the seafood ones, especially this one. So it could have been, Marley damage.
I like them.
Jury's still out. I do like them.
I like them. I like.
They don't have quite the same consistency though as Pringles.
Yeah.
Similar, but not quite.
Well, have you had the normal Lay's stacked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't. They definitely are going for that same consistency and.
Yeah, what do they call them? The Pringles are not potato chips. They're like potato crisps, something like that. Yeah, because
That's what British people call.
there was
chips.
actually like a big legal to do about
Ooh.
being mislabeling on their packaging.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, they had to change it. So
Well, they are not.
because we Americans want to sue over everything.
True. Anything to make a dime.
yeah.
But I was going to say that most potato chips are sliced potatoes that have been fried, whereas Pringles,
It's all mixed up
it's
into
it's an emulsion that
all
gets baked.
mushagina.
It's like
Yeah.
it almost looks like mashed potato
Yeah.
flakes that
It
gets
is.
mixed with seasoning and then it gets baked.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
for
a
all
good point.
intents and purposes, they just go.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this last bag of chips we have is Lay's. It's called India's Magic Masala, which is pretty exciting.
I'm looking forward to that
It
one.
does
love the
say
name.
30% more chips. I do want to point out that the chips are down here, and it is about 60% air in this bag. So I'd hate to see what it was like before they added 30% more
Well,
chips.
nowadays with our inflation that's not
literally
being
inflated.
acknowledged as inflation. Yeah, the bags are American bags. You get about this much.
Yeah. Well, you know what's interesting, actually? Not with Doritos. We tested some Doritos bags, and Doritos filled up quite a bit.
That's good.
Which is good because they're getting way too expensive.
Yeah,
too.
that's
coming up on $5 a bag.
That's the only
Yeah.
drawback. We
These
talked
are
about that.
$5 a bag.
Yeah.
Well,
These
yeah.
had to make the trip from another
Yeah.
country,
Well,
hiding in the cargo hold.
It's
They
a
are-
premium.
I just got blasted by India's Magic Masala Air.
That's the magic.
Smells pretty good,
What are the
and you
ones-
can tell they're very well seasoned.
They have ones on the back
Oh,
too
yeah,
that they're
yeah.
advertising. I think we've tried. I think is that the spicy lobster one?
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we tried most of these.
And that one just looks like ketchup. I think
It
it's normal
does.
ketchup.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's like chili and
It's
lime.
lime. Yeah. I think they might have these two at the little Stop and Rob. I'm not.
Interesting.
I don't get the Indian spice.
Really?
Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Okay.
I sucked up all the air when
Yeah.
I first opened it. I was like,
Well, you know they don't put air in those things. They put nitrogen
oh really?
because nitrogen is inert. So if
I
it's
did not know
oxygen,
that.
it'll make them start to go stale
I had,
faster.
to, I had to do literally the exact same thing you
Wow.
did. I smelled it. And I was like, why can't I smell it? And I just shake it.
Not my nose too.
And you start going blind. You're like, no, I'm losing everything.
And then he like can't hear. What did you say?
These are. You can tell that these are dusted.
They are
Yeah.
very well dusted.
Yeah, I was looking at them on
They're
the
dark.
bag, and they got like these little white blondie ones that come up straight from the potato, and the other one's like dark.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that would be the dark. Yeah, they look like the ones on the back, except
I'm taking a big spoon.
You get a big pinch. Evan's trying to get as much magic as possible.
Save the best for last. I'm excited about these.
you were serious about getting crumbs all over yourself, weren't you?
Well,
Yes, I definitely get the base of the Indian spice, but there's like a little sour.
Yeah.
Flavor to it.
Sulfury almost.
I was
like
just
yeah.
about to say it's
eggy.
sulfury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's like egg yolk. Yeah, it tastes a little bit like egg
Don't give
yolk,
me egg burp.
and it's
Not the egg burp.
yeah, it smells like everybody's farting in the room. They're a little saltier than I expected too.
Yeah, I
very
almost
salty.
regret the handful that I chugged. It was overwhelming.
Well,
Like,
see, there you go.
And they're spicy.
they're a little spicy.
little
yeah.
Not that much. I like them, but
I will say
I
it's
like
a
them, but
very
I'm disappointed.
interesting flavor.
I like them for what they are. But I had high expectations that I feel like were not met.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm sure they're as advertised, but
Well, if you go to one of the Indian restaurants around here, can we mention restaurant?
sure.
I mean,
Sponsor us.
You,
Okay.
You can.
Well, I mean, there's Curry Corner and there's Curry King, and Curry King has like this little retail part, and you can buy like pita chips that are dusted in. It's not the masala flavor, but so it's like you straight eating Indian spices on this pita chip. Oh, it's very good.
I
Yeah,
love Indian food.
I think that's probably what I wanted this to be.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
just
definitely
getting,
an
like-
eggy taste.
Yeah, and it's kind of like oniony, very salty, like you said. Not too salty, but
Oh, onion's your favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It tastes kind of like whatever the main spice is, like if it's like garam masala or like cumin or something.
Taste. It tastes like fenugreek.
Oh, like fennel seeds,
Fenugreek has kind of a flavor like,
like
that,
a
but
black
not quite.
licorice kind of.
Fenugreek
No,
is,
not really black licorice.
Fenugreek is like when you look in the produce section of the grocery store, and you're like, "What's that alien looking vegetable?" It's probably
That's
fenugreek.
fenugreek.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a big.
My girlfriend told me that was broccoli.
That reminds me, Broccoli Rob. All these cooking shows, they have this supposed vegetable called Broccoli Rob. I've never yet seen it in any store. I do not believe it exists.
What does it look like?
It's looks like really skinny broccoli.
Really? I haven't seen that either.
See, it does not exist.
Yeah.
Now your stepmother
Not my
Karen
favorite.
claims she was eating it, and I don't believe her.
I ate it in a dream. Yeah, a little underwhelmed. Maybe just because I also had high expectations. Especially
Yeah,
because
too, I was-
the last chip,
I was hoping I'd have like the equivalent of an Indian buffet,
Yeah.
all in one chip.
like a Ratatouille moment
I
where
feel
you're
like
looking
we're
back
all-
at your
yeah.
childhood, you're like,
Exactly.
Oh.
I think the reason we're all kind of let down is at least on my end, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I was hoping there would be like a curry flavor in there, like
Yeah.
a curry spice. And
Yeah.
they're
Well,
actually-
masala.
sure.
That's garam masala is one of the main spices, and basically, a base for their curry spices.
You know what's funny is that in the ingredients, the second ingredients is not vegetable oil. It says edible vegetable oil.
I'm glad it's
Almost
too.
as if to insinuate
there's no
other
other
vegetable oils.
vegetable oil.
We better check these bags.
Yeah, well, some of them definitely have cancer warnings on them.
too late.
Um,
It's too late.
I'm not so worried about cancer. That's long in the future. I'm worried about like explosive diarrhea on my drive home.
Oh, that's a given. So with the amount of
Given!
chips, yeah, it's
You got any Depends?
yeah. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
I will say that there's definitely gonna be some moments where the microphone is gonna be blocking your head, but that might be more comedic. It'd be like a Mike Wazowski kind of moment when he's always blocked on every picture that they take of him.
This also has edible salt in it as well, so just in case you
I'd
were-
hope
Thank
that
God.
everything that is
What is causing
edible.
that sulfur flavor?
I don't know.
You're
I was
never
wondering
gonna-
that.
Yeah, you can read all the bags you want. You're never gonna find the secret recipe to the.
No, that's the
eggy-
that's the magic. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Magic tastes like eggs.
All right. I think it's time for dessert.
I think it might be dried mango powder.
That's the only thing
Ooh.
in there that I noticed that I didn't know. I didn't.
Oh,
know
no,
if
oh,
I
it has
ever had.
tomato powder too. So maybe the mingling of those two.
It created some sort of
Produce
caustic
this,
chemical,
yeah.
like when
Yeah.
you mix like household cleaning
Ammonia. And,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's like mustard gas. All right, it's time for our last snack, as it were.
So you guys both know what this is?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great! I'm the
gonna
only
get
one out of the loop.
a little bit of cutlery. I'm gonna pause this real quick.
You know what it is too when you see it.
All right, so we got our little bowls.
Evan gave me a spoon that's got holes in it.
I also have a death spoon.
Yeah,
a
apparently
cool
it's a skull. It's pretty
Skull
cool.
spoon. You guys get the skulls. I get the normal.
Wait a minute. Yeah, how can we get
Because
this?
I've tried this before.
What are you giving us?
I don't
We're
know if
eating
you guys
poison.
have.
Yeah, that we have skulls for.
I have these lovely, unassuming eggs.
Oh no, those
here.
are not 1,000-year eggs, are they?
With very dark shells. As you can see, they're vacuum sealed, shelf stable.
Why are you chortling? You ever had one?
No,
It's like death in a shell.
Yeah, so these are.
it matches our spoon.
Maybe we'll take the less speckled one. These are century eggs, 1,000-year eggs. These are eggs that have been
In the ground for 1,000 years.
They've been fermenting
Since Qing
well,
Dynasty.
some amount of time. There's a little bit of accumulation at the top of your bag. A little bit of oil.
Oh,
Is that? Can you? is it?
It's cadaver fluid.
You know, I'll swap.
yeah, I was gonna
I'll swap you.
It's dead body
I'm not an expert, but we'll maybe
fluids
save.
leaking out there.
It
How
has
do you-
a very earthy smell to it.
I
haven't opened the thing.
I've had one of these. Oh, there's a little peel. Yeah, so I will get a close up.
So
of this
these
egg.
are duck eggs, right?
Yep, these are duck eggs. These are not chicken eggs.
They're they wrap them in like tea leaves and spicy stuff, and then they traditionally they actually bury them in the ground. Not for 100 years, but
Right.
I think like a couple weeks to a month or something like that.
I think it's at least a month.
Smelling the.
I don't know about
shell.
you guys. I am starving.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do we do this?
Same way you peel.
You've had
normal
these
egg.
before,
I have.
and you still hungry? Thinking about eating these things?
You know what my assessment was? I don't think it's as bad as I thought it would be.
These are
Mine was much worse than I had when I had it.
these are Chinese in origin.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, Chinese will eat anything. That's what all the other Asians say. So as you can see, it's dead black and gelid. The last
Yeah.
time I had one of these was at my best friend Jeff's house about probably 30 years ago.
Shout out Jeff.
And he got these because he was like, hey, let's try these together.
Yep.
And we were having a party. And so my friend Christy, who is one of my best friends, probably my best female friend, except for my wife, of course. She saw the thing, and when I opened it, she goes, "Ew, don't eat it! Don't eat it!"
It's
And of course,
so,
instead of following her sage advice, I took a bite because I had to be a man in front of my buddy Jeff,
it's so solid.
and it was one of the worst things I ever did in my life.
So these are they're like gelatin.
I told you they're not cooked,
So they're cured
So
basically.
it's salmonella in a shell
Wait.
with
sure.
with embalming fluid.
Well, they are shelf stable.
Yeah, I know. These things will go through a nuclear war and not change.
These are
These and cockroaches are the only
All
thing
right.
that'll exist. In 1,000 years, there'll be cockroaches eating 1,000-year-old eggs.
Make sure you get all the little
I was
bits
gonna
of
say,
shell.
rest
Oh,
in
it's
peace to
so
your
solid.
couch.
Yeah, try not to get.
I tried.
Stinky eggshell.
I
on
did
my-
try.
So here's what we're working with right here.
Oh
Smells like- yeah, now I remember. They taste like week-old
Wait, did you
diapers
smell
smell.
it?
Yeah.
They
Really?
literally taste like week-old diapers smell.
Well, this isn't gonna focus, but it's a very dark colored egg.
Because they turn into ammonia, basically,
Wait,
inside the
smell
egg.
like ammonia.
Mine, part of my
I was gonna say.
part of my jelly came off. Part of my embalming fluid.
Mine smells fine.
It smells. It definitely smells like a duck egg, but it smells.
No, it doesn't.
It does
It
have
smells
an
like
ammonia
death.
smell to it.
It smells like smelling salt. You guys ever smell
Dude,
smelling
you
salt?
can get a spoonful.
Yeah.
These
you
are
can get
like
you can just
you
take
don't
a bite
you
out
don't
of it.
yeah you got to bite. You
Listen.
can't take a spoonful.
Just real quick, I'm gonna say that I am because because of you, Dad, I am an adventurous eater.
Yeah.
I try not to judge things.
Why are you
before
holding
I-
your breath?
Holding it? You gotta taste
But
it.
that's what I'm saying is. This does not. Are you crying? This does not smell like. This smell. My body is trying to tell me not to eat this.
Listen, I've had one of these before. It's not that bad.
And you didn't. And you didn't, Ralph.
No, I didn't eat a whole one. I took like a slice.
You can't smell it before you eat it, Gabe.
I'm
'Cause
so
I'm good. All right,
scared.
I'm going.
I'm
You ready?
so scared. Cheers.
cheers to the rapid, nasty duck eggs.
Don't look at it.
Because if you do, you see this. It's like something that oozed out of a boil from one of the lords of hell.
Okay.
It's very earthy.
It tastes better than it smells. It tastes like blue cheese. You can do it, Dad.
We got a bag.
You can do it. You can't do it.
Pick your mom. No, do it in the
I don't
bag.
think I can hurl in this. Oh, shit.
Do it in the bag.
Sorry for my swearing there, folks, if you happen to hear that. But that is probably the least bad expletive I could use to describe the flavor of this.
It's very acidic.
Really?
Mine was
It's
not.
burning my
Mine
tongue.
wasn't. Really?
Yeah.
Mine was not at all.
Why don't you take a break on that guy?
It didn't even taste like ammonia like the other one did. But
Mine didn't burn my tongue. I don't know if you got
Smell mine. Is it?
Let me smell it.
Smell like yours?
You want to compare?
Smells?
Does yours smell like ammonia?
Yeah. It smells the same as yours.
Yeah, I took a pretty big boy bite. Really earthy. The texture, I think, is. I won't talk about it too much, the texture, while Gabe's eating it, because I don't want to gross him out too much. Does it taste different from yours? Mine?
I just went blind in my left eye. I think I'm dying. I think. Yeah, I can feel my soul slowly lifting out of my body.
Mine is stronger than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours might be.
I don't care which is stronger. They're all
Are
nasty.
you supposed to eat these by themselves, or are you supposed to have like do you dip them in soy sauce?
can dip them in soy
or-
sauce.
You probably dip in soy.
Yeah.
You want some soy sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get some soy sauce.
You guys are actually going to eat those?
I might not finish mine.
You know, I'd like you guys to furnish me some grandsons sometime, and I think this may be destroying, like, it's altering your DNA. So if your grandkids come out with like duck beaks or something, I'd be very angry.
We are
With you, Evan.
both infertile now.
This is intense.
By intense, he means disgusting.
It
It's very intense.
I was expecting this.
And this is a delicacy.
I was expecting this to be not as intense because Evan said he's had these before.
There you go. There's some soy sauce for you, bud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's intense. It's very earthy. It's the texture is pretty whack, I will say.
It is.
It's better with soy sauce.
It's like
That's right,
Jello.
soy
It's
sauce.
like egg Jello.
It's like the yolk. Like you said, it's not boiled
it needed soy sauce.
because the yolk is so soft, but it's
They don't
also
boil it, they-
partially solidified.
So the yolk is.
You know what that solidification is called? Rotting. Decomposition.
Try a little bit.
It's solid like that because it's dead.
He's got to go spew. It's intense, man. It's really intense.
Yeah, intense. That's what it is.
It's better with soy sauce.
You know,
I think if I'd grown up eating it, I'd probably
Yeah.
like it a lot more. I think this will be the last one I ever had.
I thought the one I had with Drew and Christy or Jeff was going to be the last one I ever had.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. It's a little overwhelming, especially with the bite that I took. I was like, whoa.
I got about half of mine in. No, I took about a quarter. I was smart.
It's hard to describe. It's like very earthy, which is like a mold thing, obviously. Like if you've had
I
like
think it needs a chip.
certain cheeses and stuff. You ate the whole thing? Hell yeah, dude.
It tastes like death. Don't let them fool you.
It tastes a lot like how it smells.
Unfortunately.
Wow, that was
It's an experience.
extreme.
An experience that I really didn't think I was going to ever repeat or want to repeat.
I think the texture's part of it too, like the jello-y egg and then this
The
weird,
squishiness
the
of
yolk
the yolk.
is like-
yeah.
like Cadbury egg
Wow.
filling. It's like
Except it's so much nastier.
it's very slimy and it looks gross. We've
Sorry.
got
I know I'm not very entertaining right now, but that's just because I'm going through it. I'm having a spiritual awakening.
I think I'm blind in my right eye now too.
So if you want to get a load of the joke, it's very green. You know.
The last one I had actually had more tea flavor to it. It was kind of a bitter.
Yeah.
I actually ate that one because
It's
I
pretty
couldn't show myself to be a pussy in front of Jeff. So so we both ate them, even though both of us were hating it. We're looking at each other. We know both knew we're like almost gonna puke.
Well, what a delicious treat to end the cast on.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
So this was all Asian snacks and an Asian delicacy to end it off.
I don't remember if we said it or not, but we do have more. This is like there's gonna be like essentially
a part
two
two
to this
of Asian snacks
because you were able to acquire so many chips.
So many.
You know what? With this 1,000-year-old egg, I'm gonna say something I never thought I would ever say. I'd rather eat balut eggs from the Philippines, the ones where the ducklings are like half formed, than one of these again.
Okay, well you said it.
You said
If
it.
you can get me a balut egg, I will try it.
It is on record.
Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in and for joining us, and maybe next time you tune in, we'll have a new name for the podcast.
I like snack slats.
Snacks.
Since you suggested it, that is hilarious. I love that.
We'll see
Okay,
how
so-
Spotify feels about it.
If I survive the egg going through my system,
Oh, it'll be brutal.
I'll
nothing
be
you've
here
ever-
too next time.
I hope
Hopefully,
I
they
hope
invite
I
me
don't
back.
The bowel movement will weirdly smell better than the egg.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think so. I don't think it can.
I'll be able to eat while you watch this eating show. Bye bye. Oh
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty intense, huh?
Intense is not the word I'd use.
That was so much stronger than I was expecting it to be.
Oh.
No, I might have played it down a little bit because
You played it down a lot,
when
dude.
I
All right, cheese.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey!